Mogul Motivation, empowering and inspiring entrepreneurs and dream chasers worldwide, 1 week at a time. Presented by True Stories Media. And I am your host, Antoine Twiz Taylor. Hello everybody, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Mogul Motivation. Welcome back. I'm happy that you are here. If this is your first time listening, this podcast is for the aspiring entrepreneur trying to get over that hump and make things happen. But this podcast is also for anybody with a dream that wants to go forward and accomplish that dream. I believe this is episode 480, and it's a blessing to get this far. And, you know, we are creeping up on Christmas. We're creeping up on the new year. 2025 is on the horizon. And we're in a space, I talked about this on a previous episode, we're in a space where things tend to slow down and a lot of people start to question themselves. They start to question if they did all that they could. They start to question if they did something wrong in regards to accomplishing their goals for the year of 2024 and if they were lacking and all of that. And I just want you to give yourself grace and remember this, that whatever is subtracted from your life can be added again. Whatever is divided from your life can be multiplied. And what I'm talking about is I'm talking about physical, tangible possessions in your life regarding your business, regarding your career, regarding whatever it is that you are building towards. If something was subtracted from that formula, it can be added again. If something was divided, it surely can and will be multiplied. When I was a kid in elementary school, I hated multiplication tables. You know, I used to hate when they would give us those assignments. The entire page was filled with multiplication tables and the backside too. I couldn't stand it. But the reality is, I look at that moment and I had to learn and get better. You know, I had to get tutored in math and I got better at it. The same applies to life and in my current circumstance, and I presume your current circumstance. You have to continue to go through your assignments if you want that multiplication to work for you, if you want that addition to come to your life. So what that means is whatever you have been doing, you have to continue to do it. Yes, you can analyze, like we talked about on the previous episode, you can analyze, assess what's been going wrong so you can address it and so you can make the changes and you can achieve it. Yes, that is a necessary formula. And at the same time, I'm talking about in between those steps, you have to keep at it. Because quitting is not going to bring you that multiplication. Quitting is not going to bring you that addition. If you are praying, you need to pray even more so. If you are working hard, laboring at your endeavors, then you just have to remain consistent with that because the multiplication comes from that consistency, and that consistency comes from discipline. It comes down to how bad do you want this? Despite the pain that you are feeling right now, despite all the things that are going wrong in your life right now, how bad do you want this? Because you have not encountered circumstances that have not went your way. This is not the first time this has happened. You have encountered circumstances in the past where things have not gone your way. In fact, I'm sure that you have encountered circumstances in your past that were worse than what you are going through right now. You have to continue to remain disciplined and focused on what you want. Ask yourself, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want that table that God said God is going to prepare for you? How many of those tables do you want to multiply? Not for greed, but for your security and so you can bless others. How bad do you want that reality? And if the answer is real bad, if the answer is very bad, then therefore you have to remain consistent in between those steps I talked about on the previous episode, in between assessing your situation, in between addressing your situation, and in between striving to achieve that situation. You have to continue to remain consistent with the intangibles, with prayer, with the motivation, with telling yourself you are capable and you can do it, with owning what you do, not downplaying your blessings and your circumstances and your career or your business. Continue to remain consistent in all the intangibles and watch what was subtracted from you be added back. Then watch what's added back be multiplied. Then watch your cup overflow, not in the new year 2025, but right now. Because the shift happens within you. And once that shift happens within you, you already live it and you already feel it. Even if it's not in your possession yet, you know it's coming to you because you are a magnet and you are attracting it. Multiplication tables. Yes, the table is being prepared, but that table is just one of many tables that's being prepared. You have an entire hall that's being prepared for you. But you have to believe it and you have to own it. Don't downplay what you do. Don't refer to your endeavors as my little business. Don't say, oh, I do this. No, you have to own what you do. You have to be proud in what you do. It doesn't matter if you only have $10 in your bank account or $10 million in your bank account. You need to walk the same way with the same enthusiasm and the same ownership. Because that is what you do. That's what you've been doing for all these years. That's what you've been laboring at. Don't dismiss or discard the gifts that God has given you, because those gifts are about to change your life in a major way, and your cup is going to overflow, but you have to remain consistent in the intangibles, consistent in prayer, consistent in waking up, consistent in getting to it. Even if you're doing a little bit, remain consistent with that little bit, because that little bit is going to add up to a lotto bit in due time. So that's my message today, everybody. Let's continue to work. Let's continue to imagine reality. Your tables are being prepared and they will be multiplied if you do not give up and if you continue to keep the faith. So if this podcast has benefited you in any way, shape, or form, I ask for two things as always. Number one, please leave a 5-star review. And number two, pass it on to a friend who may enjoy it as well. And don't forget to tell them to subscribe. Have a great day, everybody. I'll talk to you again soon.